Got it.
So the question was about where my family's from. So my mother's from the north. It's a small town called Minho in the Subgal region, and that area is very close to Spain. So and the food that comes from there is, you know, cheeses and lots of meats. My father comes from a town called Santa Cruz, which is very close by to Peniche. Peniche being the largest fisherman's port in Portugal and surfing area. So there is heavy fish, heavy seafood, and that's sort of like the rounded Portuguese world for me, where I can go up in the country and we're doing pork fat bread, we're doing matança de porco, which is like the killing of the pig, the whole ceremony, the whole 2-day process, to you know, braised meats and pork-centric food. And then my father's town, where it's all about how fresh is the fish and the snails and the barnacles. My parents, you know, brought me up here. I was born and raised in Westchester County, and they felt it was really important to have me go back to Portugal every summer in my growing up, so that I would gain an understanding of where my family comes from, and as well spend some time with my grandparents that live there. And that sort of brought me into the culture of, you know, where my family comes from, and had a huge influence, I think, without even knowing that it would have. It had a huge influence in when I first started cooking. And when I first started cooking, first I needed to figure out some techniques, and then once I got those down, I had to figure out, you know, where am I coming from with food, and what is going to be my style. And my style turned out to be Portuguese New American. And you know, good thing that I had my growing up there, and my household being so Portuguese. My household was extremely Portuguese food in growing up. You know, when I went and had lunch, I had a lunch like Tupperware with beef stew, pork, carne lanchana. Everybody else was having peanut butter and jelly, you know? So then it was a bit strange. Now it totally makes sense.
Yeah, it's not so foreign at this point. What do you see as being the very essence of Portuguese cuisine, like in your words?
Extremely straightforward, fresh ingredients, and always allowing the star to shine, whether it be fish or meat. Whatever that star is that you're cooking, cook it properly, cook it consistently, and let it shine. That's Portuguese food.
You started off with no formal training. Is this still the case? And how did you do it? How did you reach this point without any
formal training? No training. Self-taught. Is this the case? No, because I educated myself in reading. I educate myself in day-to-day handling. I educate myself with the people that I surround myself with. So, you know, I know how important education is. It just happened to be that in my situation, I fell into a situation that I had to either do it or not do it. And if I didn't do it, that would be failure. So I decided, hey, let me go and give this a shot, and found a true passion. That my passion was cooking, you know, and that being that I probably hadn't boiled water up until the time I started cooking, kind of scary, but you know, it came to me pretty naturally too. So maybe it was something that I should have been doing for a long time. I did a good job at catching up by spending and devoting time to it. You know, and I think anything that you want to be good at, you got to put your time in. You got to put your time in. You got to be true to it, and then you got to hope that God blesses you with talent to pull it off. You know, and so my school is hard knocks, and my school is constantly learning. I looked at the people that wash dishes and pots, and I asked them to tell me how their mothers cooked, and I learned from what they tell me and how their mothers did things. Because I'm all about, you know, where the household comes from, because that's where this all comes from anyway. It all comes from people that were doing it for a long period of time. You know, we put the trick in, you know, doing it repetitively on a consistent basis for lots of people. But I like to think that my style is real delicious home cooking. And this is my dining room.
How did you decide to open this restaurant and leave Trotters? Like, what led you to do that? I wanted to get my life on, and Trotters was a great starting point for me. At some point we wanted to sell Trotters so that I could move on and gain a larger size kitchen and be able to grow a little bit, because I felt like I reached the ceiling at Trotters. We ended up having to, I stayed on the project over at Trotters. We ended up selling the business, the restaurant. My mother and father got out. I stayed back as a consultant and sort of culinarian for the new partners, and then I phased myself out of it. It just wasn't working out. You know, partnership is really tough, so you have to be really strategic about it. You have to find the right mix and the right people that believe in what you believe in, especially when it comes to taking care of people. Taking care of people, you can't really have too many different opinions. You have to have one opinion. You have to go and really care about taking care of people. It's got to be a focus. It's got to be a lifestyle. 42 happened. The opportunity came about, was a developer building a great restaurant and wanting me to really be a part of it, and wanting me to sprinkle my love on it. And we're here, and we're loving it. Do you use as much local ingredients as possible, or do you source directly from? We
source local when we can. We've got farmers surrounding us that we deal with. Meat Orchards is one of the largest out of Tivoli, New York. Chuck really grows for us and really knows how important it is that what he's doing has such an influence on what we're doing, and how valuable he is to us. And he delivers the same type of effort and passion in what we do here with his product and what he does in growing.
Beyond the spectacular views and delicious cuisine here, what, in your words, makes it different up here, as the tagline suggests?
Everything. Everything. The whole approach is different up here. I think we do vibe dining, is what we're calling it right now. We do a dining experience very true to what we believe in. So there is no buddy telling us what to do and how to do it. There is no book that we could read that would discipline us and show us how to do this. This is a complete natural and organic feel of how to handle and take care of people, how to appreciate people coming in the door, and how to try to make them appreciate the hard work that we put in and the level of love that we put in, and for them to embrace that and then become a part of the experience. And we really want to leave everyone with an experience. I mean, it's not fancy, it's not casual. It's supposed to be delicious, and it's supposed to be friendly. And if that's conveyed, then we're good. You know, and I think that's what we reach to do every day. It's how do we do this in a friendly way and not change who we are, but show who we are.
As far as kitchens, I understand you have, is it 5 kitchens here? Or
We
three,
have
4 kitchens?
we have 4 kitchens.
And why is that?
Well,
what's
I
behind
mean,
that?
it's just the layout. So we have on 43, level 43, I've got my prep kitchens, and that's where I sort of produce everything. So that's where we get very creative in 43 kitchen. We spend a good part of the day there in creating all the pasta dishes, hand making all the pasta dishes, prepping all the vegetables, prepping all the fish, prepping all the meat. And then at some point in time in the day, around 4 o'clock, the cooks start coming in, they start helping themselves to what's going on up in 43. They start bringing it down to 42. 42 is the main kitchen where we push and cook every night. We've got another little kitchen which is for catering. So we have 2 private dining rooms, so we have a little kitchen where we put out the catering so that we're not pushing on the a la carte dining room and a la carte kitchen. And then we have a pastry kitchen, and that's where all the bread is being baked daily, and that's where all the desserts are being made and the ice creams and sorbets.
Do you have anything else you want to convey?
No. I think it's like, it's fantastic to have that much kitchen, being that I came from a 700 square foot kitchen and now to have I don't know, maybe a 4,000 square foot kitchen. It's kind of crazy. It takes a lot of adjustment to figure it out. I think we're down with it now, and it's real. It feels right. We found what to do with the space and how to do it. So we're sort of gelling, and I think that shows in what we're doing.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh no, thank you. So great to have.